shit.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. I'm Antonio Perez, joined as always by Danny Coale, DC, UPenn's finest, Chris Coulter, CB, Coach Boy. We got another great episode for you guys today. It's 8:39 on the East Coast, and day one of free agency is basically over.
Oh my lord!
I say basically though. You never know what could happen. Definitely not as crazy as last year of a first day, just due to the names on the market, but still plenty to talk about, and that's exactly what we'll be doing today. But of course, before we get into anything, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on the post notifications so you don't miss an upload from a single show on this channel. Audio listeners do all the same things. Leave a like, download the episode, 5-star review, all the good stuff to push the algorithm. But let's move to Danny for Summits and Plummets.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Summit immediately. Is going to be that I met Daniel Jones in New York. You can be like, why would you think that? Daniel Jones is a random name to me in New York. It was pretty funny story. We walk up, we're like, yo, you Daniel Jones? He's like, yeah. Well, actually, the funniest story is my friend Sam made a girl ask him and say, yo, are you Dan Jones? She said, are you Dan Jones? He looked at her like, who? No one called
him. He gave him more aura than he deserved.
Dan Jones.
Yeah, and she kept referring to him as Dan Jones, and we're like,
oh. Why did y'all make her go up to?
Sam was scared. Sam was scared.
I have to be honest. I don't know Sam as well as you do. Obviously, that seemed very unlike him.
It was very unlike him. He got starstruck by the Danny Dimes.
You should tell him it's legal now.
And I'm gonna go double Summit. My football team acquired DK Metcalf and big play Slay. I can't really complain about that.
Yeah, not bad at all, and we'll definitely talk more about it later.
Yeah.
Chris, how about you, man?
I think my first Summit is that I've confirmed my Costa Rica stuff. So my friend, both of them are my friends. But they
go hiking
in October, huh?
You going hiking?
I don't know. I don't know what we're doing, but I do know this.
Zip line through the rainforest?
I definitely want to do like some snorkeling. I want to do something fun because I've done zip lining through the rainforest. I've done rock climbing. I've done a bunch of fun stuff, but it's also fun stuff I haven't done. But we're going to Costa Rica for their bachelor and bachelorette party in May.
Oh.
Yeah, so they're doing it like joint, but like separate. So like just confirmed all that stuff. So I'm super excited about that. I went the country 2 times last year, so this will be my first time this year. So I'm excited for that.
Over under 2.5 this year.
Low key maybe under because I have so much other stuff to do. I think all right, fun fact. I only been to one wedding, and that was my mom and my dad's, and I was like 4.
Yeah.
This will be my second wedding that's coming up, but I have 3 weddings to go to this year. So I'll be going from 1 to 4 weddings in 1 year. So I'll be a wedding vet coming up.
Hey man, me too. I got 1. I got 3 this year, at least 1 scheduled for next year.
See, those be my
all direct relatives too. So
okay, that's cool. Yeah, one is my little cousin, one's my good friend, and then one's a friend of my girlfriend. So we'll be going with that. I think my other Summit is that it's looking like I'll be able to keep my Mavs ticket because I wasn't going to keep it if I was only going to be able to keep the one. Because usually it'll be hard to like add a seat during like the relocation event just because the wait list is always so ridiculous. But this year it seemed like I'll be able to add another ticket. So I'll be able to add my girl. Because at first I wasn't going to go because like my friend's not keeping his anymore. So it's like I didn't want to go by myself all the time. It just felt kind of boring. And I was just going to just start going to games. But now looks like I'm keeping my tickets. So Nico didn't make me hate him. But
because you're not a Mavs fan.
Well, yeah. And low key, because I like Kyrie Anthony Davis. So honestly, I was not happy Luka was gone, but I was happy for the people who were here. So
well, also you're a LeBron fan, which makes you a little bit of a Lakers fan. So you were kind of happy about it.
I was happy about everything. I could have been happy about everything. All I seen was more Jaden Hardy minutes. Luka extend LeBron's career 2 years. Kyrie AD, like bro, I was like, bro, I'm ecstatic. I was ecstatic.
And they got rid of Quentin Grimes. Beautiful.
Oh, I kind of like Quentin Grimes though.
Yeah, well, Quentin Grimes is baller. That's what I'm saying. They gave him to the best team in the East.
You're right.
Soon with Jared McCain, him and Jared McCain.
Yeah, man.
Tyrese Maxey, you are a Sacramento King. Unfortunately,
I would love it.
Please don't wish that on my boy.
Give me Keegan.
You don't even have anybody you want. You don't even have anybody. You don't even have anybody.
Keegan for Maxey is crazy.
I need Keegan and Sabonis. And then you dish and beat.
You don't even like Sabonis.
He'd be fine. I hate him.
Man, no, I would just keep Maxey, but
Yeah, I would too. I would.
I have probably the most dude summit of all time. I have a haircut lined up tomorrow. That's just makes the week. That's
Oh, so immediately that means you got 5 people texting you in your phone number.
No.
Yeah, dude.
What it does mean though is
knows.
we got to hit the gym, we got to shower. No, I got to run through King of Prussia.
Triple S.
I actually have a basketball game to cover that night, but it's in Springford, so the first time I'm not driving an hour plus in a while. It's 55 minutes, but I'll be at King of Prussia. It's about 20 minutes from King of Prussia. Am I really driving that far? Not really.
Not really.
So
you ever done Triple S?
What is that?
I'm not gonna say the first one. Shower shave. Shower shave. Triple S. It's the essentials. You do all 3 before you get ready. You're good.
Oh yeah, definitely the essentials.
Nobody.
But and then I'll just go double summit. I mean, overall, Boston trip was a success. To put it
Chris,
in the.
We took Tony splitting the G virginity.
That is. Beer is the worst thing ever. I'm just gonna be honest.
1,000%. I agree.
No, I agree.
I've tried 5
well.
to 6, and look, maybe 5 to 6 isn't like the time to cut off and make your opinion. Look, they all suck. They all sucked. Like flat out.
I knew it sucked from the start when they were like, "Yo, you have to let it grow on you."
No, I'm not doing that. That's crazy. No, I've never had a drink where I was like, "Yo, I used to like really not like this, but now, no." I've only ever had drinks where like I used to like it, but it's too much.
Some things, dude. There's some like green smoothies that I when I was younger I was like, nah, but now I'm not. Try it.
Greens are horrible. However, if you can get a
green
flavor,
smoothies, like kale, stuff, like
kale, yeah. I mean, spinach has grown on. Oh, I just one day started liking spinach. That's different. Danny Loki put me on the spinach. Spinach artichoke dip.
The spinach low key turn. Low key.
But I have to show y'all these the posters that they were handing out. Got a Pritch Please one with Derek Walter White on the back, thanking Brad.
Yo,
I'm the one who blocked.
Chris,
that is fire. That is actually.
I will tell you. I thought I didn't think it said thanking Brad. I thought it said tanking bad from afar. Hold it back up again.
Yeah.
Bro, yeah, that's hard.
That's like from tanking bad.
I thought it said tanking bad, and I thought they were making fun of the Sixers, saying they're tanking bad.
That'd be
but I also got this poster for Women's History Month. First of all, happy International Women's Day.
Oh my God, that boy said
he horrible, bro.
That boy said, first of all, I want to say, happy International Women's Day. And Jeannie talking about. Girl, get off me.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Man, look.
Jeannie's nuts.
I will say, proudly, that is the only LeBron James game I have been to, and he didn't even play.
You were there. You were there for another all-time LeBron meme, though.
I was there for Embiid 70 ball and LeBron biggest meme of all time.
Yeah, dude, it's so nuts. But it's enough of the summits and plummets. We can just get right into this NFL free agency, and let's start with Danny Steelers, who we would argue had one of the best days, 2-day stretches. Start with the worst signing, Malik Harrison. Tom Pelissero, Mike Garafolo reported defensive lineman Malik Harrison, 2-year, $10 million deal. It's probably it's not their worst signing, but they have that.
He's a linebacker.
They also signed, he's reported D lineman on NFL. I know he's a linebacker. That's why it kind of caught me off guard, but
I'm seeing that. Is he moving to the edge, maybe? Because I know he was a linebacker for us. Is he moving to the edge?
He was an off-ball linebacker for the.
Yeah, I have no idea. Reverse Zach Bowen season. And then they signed Donald Parham Jr., the tight end, to a 1-year deal, and then the 2 big moves they signed cornerback Darius Slay, stolen from the Eagles, and then they traded a 2nd-round pick for wide receiver DK Metcalf, and then extended him 4 years, $132 million.
I thought it was 5 years. Was that initial report wrong?
All of this is just on NFL Doc. Regardless, we'll go. Yeah, 5-year, I don't know. We'll go with the initial one, 5-year, $150 million deals, because that makes the annual money $30 million, which was originally discussed. Danny, talk about your team. How are you feeling? What would you grade the team after day one of free agency?
Yeah, I think this team made a decision that they would not let a wide receiver free agency go by without assessing the wide receiver position. And look, Cooper Kupp is now in the free agency market. They might go double down. They might go down and say, why not get 3? They could potentially do that. So, in reality, I don't think they do that. I think they just released Larry Ogunjobi, and they have about 10 million cap. They have about 46 million cap left. Some of that's going to go to Rodgers, Russ, or somebody else for about 20 plus million. I do think I grade them a C for not re-signing Fields for about $5-10 million a year more. I think you have to give it to Fields. I think clearly they have a plan at quarterback. And I think they're going to go Rodgers and draft a Dart, a Ewers, a guy to sit behind him for a year.
That's what I see.
I would be perfectly fine with a Rodgers when drafting Ewers in the 3rd round or trading back into the 2nd round. I think that's a beautiful plan. But now all the efforts need to be go get a guy that can give the ball to Pickens and DK. Because look, you have weapons now. Najee is out the door. He's gone home to Los Angeles. That's where he's from. That's fine. That's awesome for him, especially in a hardball system.
Yeah, shout out Najee.
Yeah. Go get a running back in the draft. Go get Quinn Ewers and someone to sit behind Rodgers.
Did I see that re-sign Warren too? Did I see that?
They put a tender on him. Second round tender. So if he leaves, they get a 2nd rounder.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. Okay.
So basically, they can get a running back in the 2nd round for free if he leaves.
Basically, replace him.
Nice.
With a probably
cheaper
not a
contract.
Cheaper would it be cheaper? Because Warren wasn't.
I seen $8 million, right?
Warren was 3rd. It'd be similar. 2nd would be maybe $500,000, $1 million more.
It's about the same contract replacement.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
You get a longer contract for sure. So whatever. But no, I think me personally, I've loved what they're doing, but they haven't had a real cornerback outside of Joey Porter. Outside of him, Dante Jackson was making plays on the ball, but he wasn't holding
Charger
down.
now.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah,
I think that I grade this a B plus. I need to see what they do at the quarterback position. I wouldn't hate Aaron Rodgers. I think he's kind of perfectly fit in a run heavy system, play action, distribute the balls to 2 vertical threats. I would love to see Rodgers and Pickens. That those back shoulder balls might make me start seeing things.
I think my only problem with them two specifically, that could either work out like they're going to butt heads, or they'll work out how Draymond and Jimmy Butler have worked out, where they're both psychos in a way. So it'll all pan out. And another thing is just like Rodgers is – I'm not saying Rodgers can't throw a jump ball. Duh, of course he can. He's done it with Adams for a very long time. Yeah. Jordy Nelson a very long time. But, his whole thing is just being so pinpoint accurate. But I think that'll go well if Rodgers is the guy. I would also agree B plus. Whoever they re-sign at quarterback quite literally will fluctuate. If they stick with Russ, I'd probably bump down to a C plus, B minus. If it's Rodgers, I'm fine staying with a B plus. Again, I told you this earlier, where like a more talented player doesn't necessarily Jets upgraded a million times over a quarterback and they legitimately got worse. Now there, of course, a bunch of other things were at play there, but it's just not always how things shake out. Yeah. But I think Rodgers immediately makes this team better, no doubt. And, if we're thinking about former Packer quarterbacks, Favre was a lot better in Minnesota than New York. Yeah. It's just how things shake up. If you suit up in that green and white, you're just not good.
And it's
not to say it wasn't bad, but things don't go your way.
It'll be another year heal from Achilles too. That's what I'm looking at. To be another.
Another year separated from the Achilles. Absolutely.
One thing I'm really excited to see, Arthur Smith is having a guy similar to A.J. Brown. Went to school with A.J. Brown even so. In DK Metcalf to run these crossers, to run these big physical routes. Pickens, as physical as he is not that guy. He's not going to run your drags and he'll run them, but he's not the guy you want running them.
Yeah, I feel that.
Like DK,
He's like
if you have DK on a slant,
George Pickens is kind of like Traylon Burks at Arkansas. He's kind of just like, he's the best player on the offense. Just we'll treat him like he's the best player on a high school team. Just get him the ball any way possible.
And
even
people
if he
are like
might
making
not be
jokes.
fit for so.
They're like, "Oh, Pickens is gonna crash out and not getting targets." I think this is gonna create more targets because DK is gonna get double teamed sometimes, or he's gonna draw if they both can't get double teamed, because then Pat Fryermuth, top 6 tight end at the minimum, is going to be wide open across the middle. So I love what they're doing with the offense. I want to see direction though. That's why the problem is the last 4 years they haven't had direction. If you're going to go all in, get Rodgers, go all in, go get trade up for Ashton Genty, and go all in.
Yeah, I really wish I would have re-signed Fields, because I'm telling you, this would have been like Eagles light.
Yeah,
with Pickens being the hometown guy originally, getting bumped to wide receiver 2, arguably. I know we had a convo earlier about that, but we'll just say it for the sake of comparison. You get the big physical Ole Miss receiver, which AJ is clearly better than DK Metcalf, but the idea of DK Metcalf could end up being an AJ Brown. I'm not going to guarantee that. And of course, you have the young athletic quarterback. But let me go to Chris here. Let's move to the Jets, who they signed former Raven Brandon Stevens to play opposite of Sauce Gardner. They also re-signed Jamian Sherwood, but their biggest deal of the day is, of course, Justin Fields' 2-year, $40 million deal. 3/4 of that is guaranteed.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the move for Justin Fields for New York?
I like it a lot, man. I just wanted to see Justin with a chance to man a team again. Like I said, we know got the opportunity in Chicago. So many different factors, and him not playing well, things not being as great as it could have been around him. Just so many different factors. He went and got a fresh start with the Steelers. I think he looked really good in the games he played. But it was time to switch to West. Like I said, I get why the Steelers did. Like I said, nothing against them, but I just think he showed that he can, man a good offense and do well. So I'm happy he gets the opportunity to do so with the Jets. And I think the main thing I'm excited about is he can play what I think will be Justin Fields centric football, if that makes sense. I think it'll be run heavy with him and Brees, just a lot, and Braylon Allen. Those three, I can see a lot of run, a lot of option, a lot of just pound the ball, and I can see Garrett Wilson finally being a feature receiver, even though he's been that, like really getting all the targets, if that makes sense, or be able to really, really be the guy. So I'm just looking forward to that. Like I said, I'm looking forward to Fields being able to grow with the team that's younger, in my opinion, on the offensive side. I mean, for the most part. So yeah, I'm just excited to see him really get a chance there. Like I said, I think he can do well. Especially I can see a run heavy offense for them with Garrett Wilson getting the most of the targets, and I think that works out for both sides. So I'm just excited to see it unfold.
Yeah, and also on the Jets, they signed your favorite player off the Ravens.
Oh yeah, Brandon Stevens. What an L. Thank you, Jesus.
He's going.
Thanks to the Jets. Thank you, Jets. I appreciate everything.
$12 million annually.
I forgot to give my thanks to the Jets. Jets, you don't know what miracles you've worked on me. You don't know, because now we have no.
Chris, they took your favorite player and your least favorite player to the Jets.
And then guess what happens? Justin Field plays so great, people forget how bad Brandon Stevens is. Looks like a good signing. Justin Field gets more love. No, I'm kidding. But I think in real life, I'll be aside. I think Brandon Stevens, he is a solid corner. He just doesn't have the best ball skills when the ball's in the air, which is about 60% of important to being a corner. But I think he is good at a lot of things, though. And I think opposite of Sauce Gardner, he'll probably look even better. So, like I said, and Brandon Stevens had really good moments for the Ravens, too. He locked up Jamar Chase for a period of time during the game. Not a full game, but he locked him up for a period of time, like 6 plays out of like 100. So I'm cool with that. I'm happy for what he did for us, for real. And I'm happy he gets a fresh start, too. Because like I said, the Ravens fans kind of were out on Brandon Stevens at that point. So it's cool to see him go get another shot somewhere else.
For sure. And I do want to say, notably, they did lose DJ Reed to the Detroit Lions.
For the Lions, yeah.
Great grab for the Lions, in my opinion.
Great grab for the Lions. The Lions have said it kind of reminds me of what the Eagles did. The Eagles had been burnt at corner for like the last 3 years. They said, all right, we're just going to sign every corner. We're going to draft every corner. Okay, we got it.
Three of you people will work. That's cool. That's all it works.
That's all you need. You can go 3 for 100. Don't matter.
Ardarius was the 5th safety we tried back there, and by golly, it worked. We'll keep you, Ardarius. Please bring him back.
Yo, Chris, I don't know if I told you. Remember Chuck Clark?
The legend Chuck Clark? Yes, I do.
My sister played softball with Chuck Clark's wife.
That is elite. And
what, Lackawanna?
No, in Coppin.
Oh,
That's
I thought you were. I thought you were saying no chai. I'm like, what?
Chai. Yep. Yep. Chuck Clark.
Chai.
Chuck Clark. Chai legend. Matt Collins though. Patriots legend now.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could stay within the AFC East because the Patriots and Bills had huge Sunday and Mondays. Let's start with the Patriots, who signed everybody and their mother. Josh Dobbs got a 2-year, $8 million deal to back up
Start
Drake
with Josh
May.
Dobbs.
Well, I'm just going in order here. I'm
sorry. Out of all the names that you signed, you started with Josh.
I'm gonna be honest. The biggest name on the list.
Legendary Josh
This is all in order, of course. Okay, the biggest name on the list is Milton Williams getting the 4-year, $104 million deal. He also signed Matt Collins, re-signed Austin Hooper, signed Morgan Moses to a solid deal. Harold Landry gets a 3-year deal with a bunch of guaranteed money.
I was gonna say I think Harold Landry is the best name on this list, and that's probably a hot take.
I think it is a little bit because Milton Williams is like one of the most like sought after.
He is, but I think Harold Landry is going to be the signing from this group that you'll remember because he's going to be outplay. I think he'll outplay his contract wildly. So, he's been a very, very valuable edge rusher for the Titans the last few years.
Yeah, and then their last notable signing was Carlton Davis with a 3-year, $60 million deal.
Carlton Davis getting 20 mil a year. I might have to go back and train for the NFL because last time I checked, he wasn't that good.
Well, the Patriots just had a lot of money, so it's kind of like you'll see it in basketball all the time. Like Fred VanVleet had no business getting the contract he did, but he kind of just got to spend it. And Freddie's been fine for him, so not the most efficient guy, but certainly someone that maintains offense down the stretch. And Carlton Davis could be that for the Patriots. And honestly, every defensive signing they have, I'm gonna like it because of Vrabel. So
yeah,
I think I kind of want to start with Milton Williams here. Earlier, I said 26 for Milton is like, wow, that's a little much. But I'm kind of thinking about it, and it's just like, maybe I'm going to try to look at it positively. I think with this group, I'm going to give the Patriots maybe I'll give them like a B-. These aren't the biggest names. Milton Williams is a little bit of a risk with that money, but I think maybe with the uptake in snaps and hopefully an improvement in run defense, I think he could be a really good signing. And like Danny said, like Harold Landry is. He's a really good player as well. He was, very comfortable with Vrabel. So, I think that's
a Vrabel guy.
Exactly, and
guys.
Yeah, and when a coach signs his guy, you can't say it's a bad one. But
Mike Vrabel walked out of the room when AJ Brown got traded.
Yeah, so, he was losing his
ball. He knows ball.
I'd give this one like a B-. Not crazy. Didn't necessarily get Drake May like weapon of the year or anything, but I think he's the kind of guy where you can improve everything around him first.
Just wait. Tet or Travis coming.
Yeah, like they'll probably draft a guy. Like, not the end of the world. Give this a B-. Solid group for the Pats.
Yeah, that's the problem. A lot of these teams make decisions in free agency knowing what they plan to do in the draft, especially with the young teams that are trying to build. They don't want to kill all the birds with one stone. They want to build together. So I think we have to. It's like a collective. Like you kind of have to. You see what the vision is. So I give it a B as well.
Yeah. Chris, any comments on the Patriots, or do you want to move on to the Bills here?
We got that money, spend it, and I am a big fan. Spend it. Get all the good players that were good the year before, and if they're not good, then it's just you got tricked. And if they are good, you got ahead of the curve. I'm cool with it. Like I said, when you have a young quarterback, it's time to make the moves. Unless you're the Falcons and you are doing what they're doing.
Well, they don't have a young quarterback, so don't worry about that.
Whatever. Yeah, also too, I want to let y'all know
my contract.
My friend who works at the Atlanta at State Farm Arena said, "You see Michael Penix did not have on a do-rag, so it is not true.
No!
It is not glued on his head. It's not glued on his head."
They said, hold up, but I did hear we are disappointed with the results, though. He's not spinning like he should be for someone who wears a do-rag that much.
With a do-rag like that, he should literally have a record player type of spin.
He should literally
have a vinyl on his head.
But overall, I think they did good. Like I said, I think this is a good, obviously a good time to spend money when you're paying a rookie quarterback. And like I said, I think they got some pieces that were at least good last year or good for other teams. So like I said, I think they already have, when you have Vrabel in place, I think you already kind of starting ahead kind of a little bit. I think you're giving them some pieces to work with, especially on the defensive side. So I'm happy about it. And I think the draft, they can go offense too.
I love it.
Yeah. Let's move on to the Bills, who a lot of their stuff came from extensions.
Mr.
Josh Allen, highest paid quarterback in the NFL, the MVP, new 6-year, $330 million deal, $250 million of it guaranteed. They also signed Josh Palmer, and they keep the wide receiver room stable with Khalil Shakir getting a 4-year, $60 million deal. About half of it is guaranteed. Gregory Rousseau got a 4-year, $80 million extension.
And they cut Von Miller.
They did cut Von Miller to make a lot of move. Very good move. Has them trading and signing for him in the first place was questionable.
And they signed to a 6-year deal at age 33.
Yeah, it was insane. It was like even after the solid year with the Rams, people were like, "Yeah, no way." Like
it was a void year. I forgot he played for the Rams. Oh my god.
They also signed linebacker Terrell Bernard to a 4-year extension as well, and then their long snapper re-signed.
Long snapper. Give him some praise.
Yep.
Man, Chris.
Yep. Long snapper continuity is very important in our league.
Chris Maragos, Eagles linebacker.
Yep. And Holder asked Justin Tucker. Struggled because he didn't have a goated Holder anymore.
I think you struggle for other reasons, my friend.
This is a kid's show.
But I didn't mention the reason, but I just said he struggled for other reasons.
Anyway, let's start with Chris here. What do you think about the Bills' their free agency was really just
keep agency,
like a team meeting.
It was just keep agency, man.
Keep the family close, as Drake would say.
Keep your guys, bro. Yeah, y'all had a good run last year. I like it. Like I said, I think that's one of my favorite things about the Ravens. Like a lot of times, our best players don't always hit the open market. I think that's a good way of just retaining your talent. So when the Bills doing so, I think Shakir earned a raise, obviously, for what he did last year when that receiver room was in the pits at points. So I said, I think it was good. Keep agency is one of my favorites, and I've been saying it for a while. Because like I said, a lot of times bringing back your guys or like extending a rookie or doing something like that, I think that's a lot of times more important than making a big splash. So I'm a fan of it, and I think also too it just proves a little bit of the loyalty that you have. Obviously, you re-up on Josh Allen because he's one of the best players in the NFL, but you're doing the same for your other players. I think that bodes well for now and for your future when you're trying to get guys to come in, because it looks as if, especially from the outside looking in, that you take care of your guys. So I think that's a good thing on both sides.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Danny, do you have any additional thoughts on Buffalo?
Yeah, I'm not really giving them a grade. I think it's just like Chris said, it's keep agency. They went right across Niagara Falls and said family matters, right to Toronto.
Yep. All right. Well, let's move. Well, okay. We won't just leave one team of the division out. The Dolphins signed Zach Wilson.
Hey, and Odell is now mentioned on this large case.
He does have a weird case.
I'm seeing that is all. I'm seeing that it's BS, y'all. I'm seing that. And
they said Drewski involved too.
No, someone said Drewski wasn't famous until 2018, but Odell, get back
here. Honestly, I seen Odell Beckham dancing in the car a couple times to some Drake. He might be a part of that case.
Odell may or may not have a weird case, and we do need to question.
His participation.
Why is he around?
Yeah, we have to close. Like, exactly why are you here?
Locking on the fact that why he's still attending IDK.
Well, let's move back to the NFC or the AFC North. Bengals had. Let's actually start with the Browns. They re-signed Myles Garrett. They get a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Things are looking up. No.
Certainly something.
It was a move for sure.
They said, Myles Garrett said, I want to be a Super Bowl contender. They said, we got Kenny Pickett.
It's at 150 million.
Look, to be a championship team, you got to add championship level guys. You got to add guys who've been there before.
He's the last snap winning Super Bowl quarterback.
Exactly. He took the game winning knee. I know a couple guys who can't say they've done that. Herbert hasn't done that.
Nick Foles done the same
Burrow
thing.
hasn't.
Josh
Foles technically hasn't.
That's actually funny, bro. Wait. Actually, Foles technically never took a knee.
Yeah, they didn't take the knee, but he's Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's a Super Bowl MVP for crying out loud. but Myles Garrett is, of course, the.
I kind of hate it
here, but Kenny Pickett could be important here, though. he might start.
Yeah.
I think he's going to start, actually.
They said Steelers get 2 free wins more a year. Ravens 2 free wins.
Now what if he goes out there and gives you a revenge belt twice?
He's not.
Just know you don't like. Look, we're on all 3 different spectrums. Like Chris is just
Really?
it's Kenny Pickett. He's just like a meme. Danny doesn't like him. I love Kenny Pickett.
Dude, look.
I love him now.
I love him now.
He got us a 5th round pick and a cool 3rd string quarterback and a Super Bowl.
Yo, I love DTR. I will say I love DTR.
DTR is very exciting. He will be sitting behind Tanner McKay.
I think
Tanner goated.
Tanner's good.
Yo,
yeah.
They got DTR to run scout routes for Jalen Hurts.
That is pretty dope because Tanner can't do that respectfully.
No, he can't.
Yeah, but I mean, for the Browns, literally just these 2 moves. I don't really like the direction overall, so I'll say C. But keeping Myles Garrett isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world. You would have got a haul and a half if you traded him. But
maybe they wouldn't have though. Maybe they weren't. Maybe that's why they re-signed him. Maybe they said we're not getting.
That is possible. That is very possible. And then Kenny Pickett. I mean, like you traded a 5th round quarterback, and hey, you get a guy who has started in this league before.
Now here's a guy, former first round quarterback,
former first round pick. Yeah, that's how you have to address him. But and I think Kenny could make them competitive. I think is a word. He could also make them the worst team in the league. But we'll see. With an improved Jerry Jeudy, with some experience in a winning culture. Maybe he'll take a step. I doubt it, but I give it a C though. Yeah, you got to start a quarterback this year since Watson's most likely going to be out all year. Maybe Kenny would even start over him anyway, but that's just me. What do you guys think about your rivals? Your rivals, the Browns. Both. Yeah, they're both your rivals technically.
I think nothing moved. Nothing changed, dude.
Yeah, not the Pickett. I don't think Pickett's the L. I think that is what it is. You have to get you have to do something. I think the best part about it is the restructuring of Watson's deal because it helps you get off of him a little bit early. I think that's one of the better things that I've seen on the Brown side. And for Garrett, keeping one of your best guys in your history, I think that is very important. But at the same time, are you cool with just being bad? Are you cool with being at best trying to get into a wild card game, or do you want to start over? You know what I'm saying? So that's my only thing with the Browns. Like you said, I don't understand the direction.
Jameis Winston was throwing for 500 yards and they were losing games.
Shout out Jameis.
That's because he was also giving the ball to the other team a time or two.
It's okay. I've seen it. Jameis
throwing for 500 yards. Not easy.
Not easy. But actually, you know what? Very easy when you throw the ball about 45 times a game.
Yeah, it's true. Ben did a few times.
So, that's another thing. They just kind of got away from themselves once Chubb wasn't really himself. Maybe another year separated for him will help them. But
where's Chubb going? I don't know yet. We'll see. He's a free agent.
Well, let's go to the Bengals, who made lots of moves on defense, or a couple moves on defense, but lots of moves in general. Osai gets a 1-year deal, something small. They give BJ Hill a 3-year contract, $33 million. TJ Slayton gets a 2-year, $15 million deal. They get linebacker Oren Burks on a 2-year, $5 million contract, which I don't really think is that bad at all.
2-year, $5 million for Burks?
Yeah. And Cody Ford resigns. Tanner Hudson resigns. Mike Gesicki resigns. Samaje Perine signs a 2-year deal. And then T. Higgins hits the tag.
I hate the tag for T because T wants on a contract, and he might sit out this time if he doesn't get his contract.
I just fear that like teams would just be like in a year's time, like you're removed from like football. Like I just hope it works out for the best for him because I genuinely believe he's a top 10 receiver in this league. When he gets the chance to prove himself as a number 1 target, his status will only go up. I believe that much in T. Higgins. He's only gotten better since he's got like when he entered the league, he was kind of a lot like Pickens in a way, just a jump ball guy. Now he's just a legit wide receiver. Like he's just great. So
it's definitely a little easier when you have Jamar Chase across the field from you.
Absolutely, 100%. But there's the development of him as a player. Specific stats aside, you watch T. Higgins year 1 versus now. It's like this is a better football player. Like,
yeah, for sure. I agree.
Flat out, he's put the work in.
T. Higgins is awesome. He scares me.
For the
Third and
defensive
20.
signings, though.
3rd and 20, Teagan's getting the ball, and he's getting a first down.
Beast. Yeah. I'll give him a B minus. I mean, with the defense you had this year, who you're signing, there's no way you could possibly be worse. Oren Burks had a great playoff run. He wasn't bad. Bringing back Gesicki for some, fresh, not fresh face, some, keeping the continuity of the offense a little bit.
I'm gonna give him a C+.
I'll say B. Yeah, B minus for me.
I think the loss of Trey Hendrickson probably coming soon to trade, as he requested a trade, and the retirement of Sam Hubbard might push me towards a C+.
Yeah, and if you were to go lower, I don't blame you at all. I like the new faces. That's really what does it for me.
I like their defensive coordinator, former Notre Dame guy. I like him. Notre Dame's really good defensive school. They're gonna play hardball. He's gonna coach them well.
Yeah. Chris, any thoughts on the Bengals, or would you rather talk about the Ravens' loan signing today? Or not even signing, a re-signing of Ronnie Stanley.
I mean, I don't really have much to say about the Bengals.
It wasn't today anyway.
I think the first thing is getting T. Higgins paid, so that would have been my thing. Or getting first thing Jamar Chase did, T. Higgins, and they've done neither. So, I mean, everything else is filler. And it's just, I think I do want to make one comment before I go on to the Ravens thing. It's just so funny hearing, like, 2 years, $5 million, that's not bad. I'm like, damn, these are like vet minimum deals, and these dudes are 26. That's what I'm thinking, like a NBA vet minimum deal. I'm looking like Najee Marshall's getting $14 million a year. 14. Like, yes, he's the best player right now because they have 8 guys. But at the same time, Saquon's getting, before he got the raise, he was getting like 14. And I'm like, Jesus, that's the difference. It just
so learn basketball, my friend.
No, I know. It just sounds crazy when you put it into that realm because of just importance, like team importance. But to my Ravens, I mentioned it earlier. That's one of my favorite parts about about free agency is keep agency. Not letting your guys leave the building. And the Ravens do it when we need to. Like, we'll let a PQ or Malik Harrison leave, but we won't let a Ronnie Stanley leave. And I appreciate that. Hope Ricard's next on the list. But yeah, I'm just happy they didn't let Ronnie Stanley go to the Chiefs, to be honest with you. Because I thought I seen it happen and I was going to cry tears. So that's probably the thing I'm happiest about.
Okay. Chargers officially signed Najee Harris. 1 year, $9.5 million. I was going to make like a snarky comment earlier because I always like to, I dunk on Fields just a little bit. I was going to say like, oh, his agent is like a beast. There's someone who is a better agent. Chase Young. Chase Young's agent is amazing. 3-year, $51 million, worth up to $57 million deal to stay in New Orleans.
Nice.
How do these agents do it, man?
Honestly, I don't think 16 million a year is that bad for 16, 17 million.
It's fine, I guess, but you have so many other priorities than paying a middle of the pack edge rusher.
That's fair.
Adebo's gone too. I seen he's gone.
Paulson, yeah, he dipped.
Paulson, yeah, he's gone. Yeah.
Let's move on to the AFC South. Texans had a big day, re-signing Enrique's brother, signed Rex Berrios, traded for Christian Kirk, signed Penn legend Justin Watson, signed Sheldon Rankins, re-signed Derek Barnett, signed Darryl Taylor, and then Tremont Smith is coming. But yeah, so it's kind of like a bunch of role guys-esque, a lot of just keeping face. Not too much going there, I'll say.
They said, good luck, CJ Stroud. We're trading your left tackle away.
Yes, they did do that, and we'll get to the Commanders in a bit.
They said
again, Jacksonville made a lot of moves. Don't want to confirm whether they're good. I mean, Robert Hainsey is a fine signing. Anytime you can get an offensive lineman, that's good. Jordan Lewis, I thought was a really good deal in my opinion. Same with Eric Murray, De'Ami Brown on that deal isn't bad. And the only really notable signing outside of that, there's 3 notable signings outside of that within the division. Colts got Shavarius Ward and Cameron Bynum, And then the Titans gave Dan Moore $82 million.
Insanity. But it's the Titans, though. You got to protect Cam Ward somehow.
Yep, if they're taking Cam Ward, or maybe they're taking the generational guy. That's a real two birds with one stone.
Will Campbell? For sure.
Unfortunately, they're going to take Jackson Dart because it is the Titans. That is why.
Jackson Dart, number one overall pick, dude. I'd lose my mind.
That'd be bigger than the Luka trade. That would be bigger. That would be bigger.
Yo, imagine Quinn Ewers shoots up draft boards. Number one overall.
No.
Yo, Drew
The only way people will get beat in on Quinn Ewers if they get stuck in a room with you for 30 minutes.
But people in Texas hate Quinn Ewers. In Dallas, I was in the barbershop the other day. Dude was like, what's that boy that was in front of our man and just in the way?
Yeah, what he is. He's like, dynasty starts after you, buddy. Come out of here. Let's talk about the Commanders, though. They did bring in Laramie Tunsil for a third, a seventh, a second, and a fourth.
A lot.
But it's a lot. But you got a franchise tackle for your franchise quarterback alongside re-signing Zach Ertz, Bobby Wagner, Zane Gonzalez. You bring in Javon Kinlaw, and you bring in Deebo Samuel.
Wait, so how much is Tunsil getting paid? The extension.
Sorry, what contract were you asking about?
Laramie Tunsil's extension. How much was it?
I'd have to find that on a separate one. But for now, I got it. Laramie Tunsil contract, real easy. Looks like 3-year,
75 mil.
Yeah.
25 mil a year. It's high, but it's not crazy.
It's high, but I think a young team with some cap space you're willing to pay to protect your guy. I mean, very rarely, not even rarely, you could truly say only once ever has your rookie quarterback been as good as Jaden Daniels, or it's just at least played on that level for his rookie year. There might have been other guys who ended up being better. But point aside, me personally, Commanders, I'll give them a B, a flat B. I like let me go B plus. I can't underestimate the signing or the trading of a franchise tackle. Continuity with Zach Ertz, Bobby Wagner, Kinlaw is definitely a good signing, and Deebo's kind of just like.
I think that makes a big difference.
Hey, let's see what you got. If Deebo is a plus in any way, shape, or form, that's a win.
I look at it like this: if he was able to do it with if Jaden Daniels was able to do it with De'Ami Brown outside of Terry McLaurin and those other pieces, I know Deebo didn't look great last year, but the year before Deebo looked really good, in my opinion. If we can get even a mix of those two, I think he's an upgrade over what they lost. And next to Terry McLaurin, I think
Olamide better.
Olamide Zaccheaus is so goated.
He's goated. All I gotta say is, yeah, for sure. 100%.
Last year for sure, but I'm gonna factor in health, tasty cakes into what happened with Deebo.
Yeah, I'm about to start playing.
If Deebo gets in shape, he's no doubt wide receiver. If Deebo could just get back in shape, get healthy, I have no doubt he becomes the second option on that offense.
Man, I've heard that way too many times before. If he could get back in shape.
It's only been 1 year.
It was literally like 6 months he looked fat. And then they gave up. I'm not
2 years ago. 2 years ago, he gave the Eagles like 2 40-plus yard touchdowns. Dude, he was killing us.
Yeah, dude, I'm not giving up on Deebo. I think this is a steal because of what Deebo looked like last year. I think it's a steal. And we'll revisit this later. I could be super wrong.
Chris, but me and Tony were.
I think we have one guy out, we have one guy in, and one guy.
And then you have to give the ball less to Eckler in the backfield because now you have Deebo Samuels.
Chris,
literally
I
the
love
same
that
guy last year.
Me and Tony named 50 receivers better than Deebo Samuel last year.
Which wasn't hard. I mean, Deebo wasn't good last year. Point blank period. Travis Hunter was better. Ted McLaurin was better than him. Like, dudes coming through the draft. Tyler Warren was better than him. But let's move to let's talk about one individual signing in particular. Devontae Adams to the Rams. Cooper Kupp certainly is on his way out. And instead of making Puka have to play that X role beyond the line of scrimmage, he can still do his motion thing because Devontae Adams is there. And as much, as unsuccessful as the Jets were last year, it wasn't because of that guy. That guy was arguably the best player on the team still, at least best player on the offense. He was still really great. As many people want to throw the outstanding song on, Rams Devontae Adams.
That's crazy.
But you know
he's
what?
Still awesome.
I think he's still awesome. And you know what? This could be a real Nets KG because KG wasn't entirely washed in Brooklyn.
The rest of them were
like the other people with that sound. Yes, like Celtic Shaq. That is a genuinely bad player.
I'm talking about the rest of the Celtics on the Nets.
Pierce was fine. Jason Terry was horrible. Those two were fine though. Once they got two teams removed, like Pierce went to Washington and then KG went back to Minnesota. Yeah, those are bad. But Pierce still called a game. Let's talk about But what are your guys' thoughts on Adams to LA?
I love it. I think it's an A+ signing. And dare I say, it's an improvement over Cooper Kupp.
Last year, easily, very, very easily. Last year, I would say yes.
Just overall, I think so. Right?
Overall.
Yeah, so I think it's overall. I would say Devontae, but I think it's an upgrade. I think it's an upgrade because you help Puka a lot. I think that's why I think it's an upgrade because whatever Puka doesn't know already, I'm sure Devontae Adams can teach. And not teach like he just has to learn anything, but just to grow Puka's game, which Puka's going to be your guy clearly moving forward. I think it just makes a lot of sense. And then you still are able to compete because Devontae Adams is still top 7, in my opinion, wide receivers. So I think it's beautiful. Matt Stafford, old or not, can still put the ball wherever you need it to be. So I think it's really good. A team that was a couple plays away from, maybe making
the Super Bowl,
like literally. So I think it's
ridiculous to say that.
Yeah, I think it's an upgrade.
Dude,
yeah.
Puka Let's talk about had me and Tony on the edge of our seat after mossing Darius Slay down the time.
But that's fine.
It was a
push off. But let's talk about the Detroit Lions. 3 notable signings. I mean, they get Marcus Davenport, Derek Barnes gets a 3-year, $25 million deal, and they get DJ Reed. I have to say, they targeted points of emphasis. That defense went out sad. And, of course, that's due to injury. No Hutch for basically the whole year. Lots of injuries. Give this a B+, though. I give it an A-, actually. I'll give it an A-. I really do like DJ Reed.
Hutch not stopping no 45.
Yeah, Hutch ain't stopping no 45, but maybe he could have evened the turnover battle a little bit. Yeah, he would have helped for sure, but I don't know. The destiny was on Washington's side that day. But yeah, what would y'all grade the Lions offseason so far?
I like it.
Or not offseason.
I think this Lions team, as we saw, was one of the best rosters in the NFL last year. They're making some tweaks. They're making adjustments. They cut Zadarius Smith. They said, let's cut some dead money. Let's go bring in some other guys that are great assets. Yeah, I'm fine with it. I think the Lions are doing what the Eagles are trying to do. Run it back with your core guys. Maybe add a few guys. Maybe subtract a few. Maybe trade some draft picks around and retool and re-up it. So looking forward to Eagles Lions in the NFC Championship.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I would say it just these are good, solid signings. It's all a matter of them just not being made of paper mache next year. Offense is obviously going to do its thing. But Chris, did you have any word on the Lions?
Not really. I think the moves they made were just I think what Danny said, kind of retool and just try to go back at it again with your core guys. So I'm not mad at it. Like I said, I think they were really good last year outside of injuries. I think they could have even done better. So yeah, I think I'm cool with it.
It's Hendon Hooker season.
Yes, the streets are saying. Let's move on to Carolina though, who they re-signed a couple guys like Dalton, Tremble, Corbett. They do sign. I mean, the defensive line is brand new, and that's exactly what you want if you're Carolina. They bring in Patrick Jones II. They bring in Tershawn Wharton to a 3-year deal. Bobby Brown III on a 3-year deal. J.C. Horn, highest paid corner in in football. Mike Jackson agrees on a deal. Trevon Moehrig is on a 3-year deal. So basically, they poured everything. They were like, you know what? We know Bryce Young can work with this group. He can make it happen. And we believe he's that caliber of quarterback, and he's shown it. But if we can just imagine if we can get some stops for him first. First and foremost, this is more like a Chargers formula. We're like, you know what, Herbert going to win us the game. We just got to keep it in distance. To me, that this is an A off season or an A day one of free agency for Carolina.
Yeah, I think they're going to prioritize getting a guy. And look, they have a running back in Chuba Hubbard. They're either going to get an offensive lineman, or maybe get like a guy like Ted McMillan. Maybe jump up and get a guy like Travis Hunter.
If they could jump up and get Travis Hunter, it'd be pretty crazy. J.C. Horn would be the highest paid corner in the NFL, and he wouldn't be the best corner on his own team.
Well, Travis probably playing receiver. That's the case.
Both of them. He said he's doing both. I gotta believe him.
And I'm not gonna lie.
I have to believe him. He's one of the most spectacular athletes I've ever seen.
He's from Georgia, right? Carolina's not too far from Georgia.
Who? Hunter?
Yeah,
Hunter
he's from SUNY.
Yeah. You're right. I was like, why did I think it's from Florida? I was like, no, he was just originally committed to Florida State.
He was, because Deion, right? It was rumors Deion was about to go to Florida State at the time.
Sam Hauser 30 bomb, if anyone cared.
8 threes, by the way.
No one cares.
He's such a beast.
It's Monday night.
Like, he makes his threes on the most useless time. I don't need this on Monday on League Pass, bro. Give this to me against the Cavs in the playoffs.
No, you do need it on Mondays in League Pass so JT can take the game off. This is why
Monday
night.
They had
to put him. They had to throw him in the rubber room to get him to not play. Good. He missed 2 of the last 3 games.
Good.
2 of the last 4. Sorry.
Take these losing teams off. We can beat them without them.
Let's talk about another South team real quick. Buccaneers re-sign Chris Godwin, re-sign Bredesen, re-sign Levante David, and they bring in Hassan Reddick, who essentially took the year off. You got a fresh edge rusher.
Man, the Jets are really hilarious. They traded a 2nd-round pick and a 3rd-round pick and got in return 10 games played.
Yeah. What do you think about the Bucs day one, though? I know we're all big Chris Godwin fans here.
I think Godwin's the best receiver on the market.
Not including the trade eligible. Well, Devontae Adams was technically on the market, so I'll say 2nd. But
I think he's in Devontae Adams' tier at this point of his career. Chris Godwin was one of the best receivers in the NFL before he got hurt this year.
I'd agree on that.
He was fantastic, and it was unfortunate he got hurt the way he did. Running it back, they got their core guys. Evans going to get you 2-3 years left. Godwin's got 3 years left. He's going to take him till year 31 of his career. Chris Godwin has very quietly put together a fantastic career. It's just the issue is NFL Hall of Fame wide receivers is the guy across him. So you're kind of overshadowed his entire career.
Yeah. Chris, any thoughts on the Bucs?
No, but
it's really
it's like just whatever.
Keep agency, as you would say.
Thank y'all. I'm telling y'all, make that a thing. I've been saying it for a while, but nobody cared. I'm just happy Chris Godwin is back because another year of Godwin and Evans is always good. And I hate that he got injured last year. I think they were really rolling. So I'm happy to see them running it back and adding a few pieces. So and they did decent last year. So I think they're a better team after day one of free agency. So I think it's pretty good.
The Commanders run for their money. Yeah. When the Commanders were hot,
they did.
We'll talk about 2 more signings before we wrap this up. Anything else that'll happen, we'll probably dab into it a little bit later in the week. But later in the week is probably gonna be an NBA episode. But
let's talk about Skylar
2 big
Thompson
quarterbacks.
To the Steelers?
Huh?
You want to talk about Skylar Thompson to the Steelers?
One of the moves ever. Let's first talk about the Raiders, who trade for Geno Smith.
Chris, he's a top ex-quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know. I keep forgetting where Chris stands on Geno Smith. I can't remember if you're like.
I think Geno's cool. Yeah, I think it's cool. I think this is an upgrade, though. At this point,
what?
Geno?
They could have brought in literally anyone and it would
how
have
many
been an
teams are in
upgraded
NFL?
quarterback.
How many teams are
You
in
brought
NFL?
me in, it would have been an upgraded
30?
quarterback.
He's 30. I
32.
think he's
32.
32. Right? Yeah.
Wait,
I
what?
think he's about
32.
the 19th best quarterback, probably. I would say.
I got my 14.
I would say
my
Geno's
14.
like on that back end after 15. Not terrible. I wouldn't mind if he was on my team, but I would hope he wasn't. Like if that, you know what I'm saying? I would hope he wasn't starting, but if he was, I would.
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff's better than him, obviously. Yeah. Oh, you think?
I think Geno's better than Goff. Here's a problem. I think
around the same
Geno.
ram or mid.
I think Geno's
They're both mid.
skill, his accuracy is legit superhuman. His
It
pocket
is.
presence is what made things even work in Seattle in the first place. Because that line sucked. It sucked for years. It sucked in the last couple of years of Russ. And Russ cooked. That's why it worked. Geno Smith, he could avoid sacks. He was mobile enough to do that. And he was the most
He's a
accurate
freak.
quarterback in football over the past couple of years. The turnovers just were brutal this year. So if you have Goff over him, I'm not going to show up to your house with pitchforks and
He will.
TP your crib.
He will.
I promise.
He's talking directly to you. Any Goff over Geno.
Yeah, if you have Goff over Geno, I'm going to come to your house and I'm going to TP your house. Sorry.
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah. Nothing. Sorry, Jared Goff can't save you. But no, Geno, like I think for what the Raiders gave up and what their offense looks like with Powers, with Jacoby Myers, like
with Ted McMillan or Ashton Jeanty,
like with another weapon, like we're talking a little bit, and they re-signed Crosby, so we could be talking just a little bit. Like I can't emphasize enough. Like I can't emphasize enough how. Like last offseason, like Danny was saying, anybody was an upgrade over Pickett or just the current quarterback situation we have. I mean this in the literal sense. They could have signed anyone, and it was an upgrade. You brought in a guy who was bare minimum 2 times better, at least in quarterback ranking, than whoever you were throwing out there last year. In my opinion, I think he's a top 16 guy. We have so many top 10 quarterbacks that if he really is 19th, as Chris says, that's not even the end of the world. You're still an average quarterback. Still above average. Like, there's so many good quarterbacks. But point is, love the move for the Raiders. At first, I didn't like it. I thought they were kind of sending them to, the hell zone. But they're giving it some thought. I'm like, you know what, man? Like this could do something. As long as Geno can cut back on the turnovers. Get more back to the I ain't right back season.
For sure. I like it. I just want to see. I think it's good for Brock Bowers' development. I need to see them draft another wide receiver though, or maybe go after someone. Maybe a Golden, maybe a Bond.
Yeah, they can't be done for sure.
A Bond in Vegas, like you're posting bond for all the players that go to jail.
All right, man. No. Free the Raiders and Cowboys from that joke. Take that joke to Kansas City.
Oh yeah, it needs. I mean,
those dudes are horrible.
I mean, the Raiders can't be free from that too. They drafted like 3 years straight of their first round picks went to jail.
They do got to exclude Xavier Worthy now because they said that
was dude.
So he's excluded.
Where are these guys' parents?
No, apparently they said Xavier Worthy's not even safe. He called his girl cheating. He said, "You guys put up 200 yards at Super Bowl."
Nobody's safe.
No, nobody will be safe. But last thing we're going to talk about is another quarterback move in Geno's old home. Seahawks gave Sam Darnold the bag.
It's JJ McCarthy season. Oh,
it is JJ season in Minnesota. I'm very excited. I will be there. But I slowly but surely fell in love with JJ McCarthy in the draft process, and I'm all in. My eyes are gonna be glued to Minnesota next year.
I only like it because Kevin O'Connell was the offensive coordinator.
I think that'll accelerate McCarthy's growth. That's not the only reason I love it, but a big reason I can say. With Darnold though, I'm in between. Darnold is an outstanding talent, right? He's going to have JSN. Run game's still going to be really good. My problem is his offensive line is horrible, and Geno is the reason why it was able to work. Darnold is the type of guy where he can't be pressured whatsoever. If he pressured, it is over. But I can get behind it a little bit. I'm not in love with the contract. I think I'm cool with giving this like a B- where I'd give the Raiders an A-. But you know what, B-, you got to pay a guy what his market is after the season he had. And if they can, with JSN, they can just build an offense that's designed to get the ball out quick, which works in everybody's favor, this is going to be fine.
Yeah, I will say I think I give this trade a B. I was signing a B just because of the trade, because they got a 3rd-round pick for Geno Smith. I think it's a B. When you can get a similar level guy and also get a draft pick back, a younger guy that too. Geno's a little older. So Sam Darnold might get 2 contracts with the Seahawks. You never know.
We'll see. Chris, any thoughts on Sam Darnold to Seattle before we wrap it up?
Darvingham, salute to Sam Darnold for playing your way into a big deal. Shout out to him,
baby.
Yep, and I think it's good for him, and I think it's better for JSN. DK's out. Sam Darnold's in. You get to come in and Tyler Lockett's out. You get to come in and solidify yourself as the one. Even with DK there, I mean, like I said, he probably was the number 1 target last year, even with DK and Lockett. But I think it's really time to get your Darnold and Jettas on from last year and try to recreate from the times when they were on the field. I like it. I like Kenny Walker. I like what the Seahawks have on offense. Now, I like Darnold. I think Darnold. I'm not going to judge him on his last showings from what we've seen from him most recently. I'll judge him more so on that first half of the season. So if that's the Sam Darnold you're getting, I think it's right on target money-wise. If you get the other side, the one we've seen the last couple of games, then you may be looking to draft a quarterback in the year. Who knows? But
I got one question for both of you. Who is the Paul George signing of day one?
Paul George signing of day one.
He's older. It may be
and he has to be like a former All-Star guy, or you're just asking like who?
No, just who's a good sign? Who's a good player?
DJ Reed. DJ Reed.
You think DJ Reed?
DJ Reed's his contract's gonna age bad.
DJ Reed's 30, right? He's 30 on the head of 29.
Yeah, he's 30.
I'd have to say Darnold. Yeah. I'd have to say Darnold.
But is he old enough? You gotta be old. You gotta be almost old.
Darnold, you know how they be saying Jason Tatum's only 19, dude. Every time I look up, Darnold's like 24. So
his face is just old. He has an old dude face. He wishes
got drafted like 20, dude. He's a young buck.
Yo, it's gonna sound crazy. Mine's Milton Williams.
That's possible. It's very possible,
dude. I don't think Milton Williams is worth.
Oh no, it's the one we were talking about for the Titans.
It's not. I don't know if it's Dan Moore.
Oh, Dan Moore. Oh my God. Yeah.
Dan Moore had a decent year last year.
I didn't hear his name.
He had a decent first half of the year.
Yeah,
and then
I watched him try to block some Ravens last year. I seen that, Danny.
Chris. There was a play where Dan Moore pulled to the right and Roger Jones pulled to the left.
That's what happened.
Ran into each other, bro. I've never seen that happen.
But yeah, that's everything from us. Of course, if any other deals happen or we forgot about anything, we'll obviously talk about it next episode. AP New Freezer, Culture by Migos, DC Comics. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Stay clean with the mustache.